Welcome to the Sports Doyen. This is Kushagra and welcome to the Cricket Daily Live. इंडिया ने मैच जीत लिया है 7 विकेट से फैंटास्टिक विक्ट्री वेरी कमांडिंग विक्ट्री फॉर इंडिया माइट आई ऐड I've got Pratmesh and Anurag here with me. मैच की कहानी तो कहें तो इंडिया बोल्ड वेल आई थिंक हम लोग ने जो मिड इनिंग शो किया था उसमें भी डिस्कस दैट India did well to restrict England to 164, and in that Bhuvneshwar Kumar, even Shardul Thakur, Washington Sundar, all of them had noteworthy performances. Really impressed by them. Even Yuzi Chahal, for that matter, I thought he had batsmen in trouble. Beyond that, when you came to the batting, KL Rahul, thoda sa worry rahenge, second consecutive failure for him. But beyond that, man, the Indian batters.
I'm sorry.
All right. Indian batters were Indian batters were fantastic, absolutely stunning, might I add. They were on point when it came to acceleration. Ishan Kishan, what a debut to remember. 56 from him, from the debutant. He never looked like international cricket. Vijay Hazare या Syed Mushtaq Ali या IPL मान लें आप, कुछ रणजी ट्रॉफी जो मान लें, it seemed like he was just very much at home. And whenever Surya Kumar Yadav gets Siddharth adds Kohli, what a flop. And James also says Nathan is hiding. Buddy, I think it's up to you to get behind Nathan, get after Nathan, and get him to come on to the lives when you guys actually lose, because he was the first one on the link when we lost, right? 2 days back. He was waiting for the host to actually come in. So Nathan was a happy chap. He is busy, unfortunately, today. It's nothing pre-planned as such. He was busy the entire day. That's why he couldn't join in. Hopefully, we'll have him in the next game. But coming back to the Indian batting performance, really impressive by Ishan Kishan, as I said before. Virat Kohli, I mean, class is permanent, isn't it, lads? I mean, form surely is temporary. 73 of 49. Virat Kohli, stunning, carried his bat. Pratmesh talked about Ishan Kishan. I think Virat read your comment.
Katie, the stat in the comment.
I'll do that. Virat Kohli completed his 3,000 runs in T20Is and is the first man to do so in T20I history. Incredible. And also in 29 innings, average of 108.3, scoring at 8.2 per over and 14.5 centuries in winning chases. Incredible. Incredible. Nathan, come out where you are. I think James is calling you out. And Nathan watching those Kishan highlights. Yeah, Nathan was also Nathan was very vociferous about that stumping chance for Virat Kohli as well. We'll come to all of that, but all in all, Rishabh Pant, one must not forget those 26 of 13, incredible runs. He ensured the momentum that Kishan had carried through into the innings. Continued into the innings, and all in all, fantastic performance. Or I would say dominant in all facets of the match. And we'll come to you, Anurag, first, since you weren't there in the mid innings live as well. What do you make of this performance? How have you evaluated this Indian performance? And must be chuffed to the bits watching India win once again.
I am incredibly happy for more than one reason, and this includes Ishan Kishan doing so well, because I have been hearing about Ishan Kishan since 2014, in a sense, 2014, 2015, even before these both represented in the 2016 Under-19 World Cup. There were so many names in contention for the 2016 Under-19 World Cup for the captaincy role, and eventually, and Nathan has joined.
Nathan has joined.
Just got triggered little.
Nathan has literally been brought into the live by James. Nathan is here. Hi,
hello, Nathan. How are you?
Hi.
Looks. Your voice seems quite depressing. I hope all's good.
Yeah. When you don't have the third umpire on your side.
Oh God. Genuinely, I think after Atul, Nathan is the funniest guy on our panel.
Yeah, man. You mean to tell me, Nathan, if that was out, England would have turned the match around, isn't it?
Could have done.
Yeah, it was written in the stars that Virat Kohli. I mean, all the entire team would have been bowled out had that been given in England's favor. Yeah, that's what Nathan says.
Yeah. Also,
But again,
also had
coming
Ben
back to
Stokes
Ishan
caught the
Kishan, yeah, that was totally on England. So again, talking about Ishan Kishan and Rishabh Pant, this really feels like some prophecy coming true, man. Seriously, because
Yeah.
both of them, they were touted as the next big things, and both of them took some time. Rishabh Pant, obviously, sort of meteoric rise. He came in early. He's had his downs, he's had his ups already. In such a short span, he's had like so many moments already, up and down moments. But Ishan Kishan, he comes in, he does the job so brilliantly, so effortlessly. That over of that Tom Curran's first over, when he was just using that bottom hand and swinging bat so ruthlessly and beautifully, uh, it was just so fabulous to watch. And I wish we could have seen Ishan Kishan and Pant batting together, but I know that'll happen soon, and that'll be one beautiful sight, especially for me as a fan, because 2016 World Cup was one of my first as a journalist. Was one of my first major tours that I covered as a journalist. So that was incredibly special for many reasons, and these both enlightened me, brightened my days back then, and it's lovely to see both of them doing that right now. It was just too good, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, and I'll come to you, Nathan, as well. Just I don't know. Are you here for a while? Do you have less time? Do you have to push off soon? I'll just make sure that that's clear there.
Nope, I'm fine for today, mate.
Oh, yeah, you're good. All right, then I can take my time. I can take my time grilling you there.
Kushag, let's go slightly easy on him because Preston lost yesterday to the worst team in the championship. So he's already
it's not been after the high on Friday. It's not been a great weekend for Nathan.
Yeah.
Let's just put it there. Nathan, coming back to the English team, I felt a little bit of tackling the slower balls was an issue with the English batsmen during the entire innings, for that matter. It seemed like a lot of batsmen already had plans coming into bat, and they tried to execute those plans rather than trying to improvise as per the situation was going, because India bowled very differently as compared to what they tried in the first match. And the very fact that they had Bhuvneshwar Kumar, who seemed like was back on song, that he's capable of bowling 6 different slower balls in an over. That's the skill level of the man. So we saw that from around 2014 till 2017, and unfortunately in the last 2-3 years he's been dogged by injuries. So him along with Washington Sundar, who I felt was very impressive today, Yuzvendra Chahal, who took risks. Do you felt a tad bit disappointed in the way the English batsmen tackled the Indian bowling? Because I felt even with a good bowling performance, that the scoring rate was slightly under par. 83 in the first 10, 81 in the second 10.
Well, there is obviously a big debate across everybody about what is a good score in the first innings. Because if you think about it, and I'm not trying to make this as an excuse, just jokes apart, it's much easier to bat in the second innings than it is in the first, because it skids on a lot better and a lot easier. I thought it was a decent score. I was a bit disappointed with the last 5 overs. I thought we tried to hit it too hard, where sometimes we could have just got a couple more singles and played a bit smarter. We'd have got to probably 175. But credits to Kohli. You got he got dropped once, and then he just took full advantage and took you guys home. I personally think you batted a lot smarter and a lot better, and you bowled better as well. So that's why you won the game. We were, I think, we're missing a bit of wood in the middle as well. But once you took the momentum, I thought at over 4 the game was quite balanced. Probably say slightly to us, but it was a very balanced game. But those 2 overs, you just took it, and we just couldn't get the momentum back. We couldn't catch, and that's another thing. I think you dropped 2 as well, but the difference was you took full advantage of our mistakes there. So we dropped Kohli on 10, which I'd expect Butler to get more times than that. And he goes and adds an extra 50, 60 runs, whatever. So that's why you won it. But it's going to come back to my question. How do you win batting first? How many more runs above par do you need to win the game?
I think
an excuse.
Yeah, I mean, I'm flatly speaking. I mean, like frankly speaking, Nathan, I think you need a over 200 score on this ground because the level of due, the lack of control the spinners seem to have, and even for that matter, pacers for that matter, because slow deliveries must become difficult with a wettish ball, right? I mean, with a ball that's not gripping so well, even the control over your knuckle balls and the leg spin slower balls or even the off cutters would become more tough. And on that note, I'll take it to Pratmesh. Pratmesh, I know we can wax lyrical about the Indian bowling, but just a word on the Indian batting effort, bro. Like, I mean, I agree with Nathan, wholeheartedly. I think they missed Mark Wood a lot because you could see when Jofra Archer was bowling those bouncers, extra pace can still have an impact, and that probably was something in their innings. So, Navdeep Saini could be a shout out for the next couple of matches, because if you're going to play with a longer batting lineup, maybe you can take a Shardul out and get Navdeep in. Maybe you can take that risk. Maybe go in with an out and out pacer. But coming first to the batting, brilliantly executed by India, isn't it? And might I add, I predicted 17 overs. What was it, Pratmesh?
I guess you got it right. 17.5 overs. I mean, that was pretty clean in itself. So fantastic, Kushagra. Good work. I hope whoever is going to be the next bet predictor or something, please contact Kushagra, and please make sure that you give some generous donation to TSD once you win. So yes, coming to the batting, KD. I feel the only part of the batting that didn't work out for India was the first over, which, to be fair to Sam Curran, he bowled really well. Although KL Rahul and the way the way he lost his wicket is worrying, because it's not more about the fact that he lost his wicket early on in both the games. It's the way he's lost his wicket, right? So that's the real problem. But coming to the batting after, in the 16.5 overs after, it was just magnificent. First of all, massive kudos to Virat. I mean, yes, I want to talk about Kishan. The kudos to Virat, because he took the bowling in a different style when he came on to bat. He realized that they were going to try those cutters and those jammers and those half pitchers, and he just took that extra bit of time and just tapped that ball behind, somewhere around the square leg, mid wicket, or even sometimes even the fine leg area. And that was good to see that he was taking his time early on. He was waiting on the ball. He was not rushing as we saw in the last game against Abdul Rashid. And he really did well to settle in and make sure that Ishan Kishan knew, okay, the Virat Kohli we all know is there in front of me, which is very important for a debutant, because then otherwise all the pressure comes on to Ishan Kishan for some reason. So that is something that Virat did really well. Talking about Virat's overall innings, I felt this was the homecoming for Virat Kohli. I mean, on a pitch that has its own demons, which people keep on saying. England bowled different kinds of lines and lengths, and sometimes they were also a bit off radar. But I think Virat Kohli's shot selection was absolutely impeccable today. I think that is what you associate with Virat Kohli when he's in good nick. That is shot selection. The fact that he stepped down the ground and hit that straight six, that was probably the best shot of the game. I just couldn't get over
to get
that.
To his 50.
To get to his 50, and then that hook that he played to win the game. I think when Virat plays those shots that well, it is
He's
usually a
in
sign that
form.
he's in form. Virat is there.
Pratmesh, one more statement to add. I think England should really, really watch this innings and be slightly concerned that he's back in form, because there's still
Yes.
3+3, 6 matches to go.
Yeah, I think if anybody is watch this innings, anyone who is not India or anyone in the IPL who is not RCB are concerned, because when Virat Kohli usually gets his neck back, he doesn't lose it so quickly. So I think that was good to see, and I hope he continues that next game, takes the same confidence into it. Ishan Kishan, words probably fail me to describe his innings, because um, for a debutant to be in a position which is highly contentious, Rohit's gonna come back next game. Shikhar is always there waiting. You know that KL Rahul, even though he's not in good form, he's in good nick. Prithvi Shaw, Devdutt Padikkal, and God knows where the list ends. And for Ishan Kishan, who yes, yes, come on the back of 173, but a string of low scores after that. His position was questioned at one point when the series actually was about to start.
Like 2 ducks in 3 innings or something like that. It was like Pratmesh,
Yes,
wasn't it?
yes, he was, and that is the problem. And then straight away he comes in here and he just looks at home. The good thing that I like about Ishan Kishan over the last 2 years, especially, and now that we saw it on the international circuit today, was that how composed he is when he hits a boundary. That the next ball, if it is meant to be just sliced and just just tapped away for a single or into the gap for a boundary, Ishan Kishan will do that. That is a major aspect that has improved in his game. Otherwise, all that we associated with Ishan Kishan at one point was just going hell for leather. And today, if not for that reverse sweep, I'm pretty sure he would have carried the bat because he was looking absolutely untroubled. I know there was a drop catch of him, which I think Ben Stokes will probably look back at and think he dropped the game. But magnificent innings. I think the way he just pulled, the way he played between square leg and fine leg was absolutely brilliant to watch. And obviously that cover drive that he hit, I think it was to Rashid, right? Back foot cover drive which he hit, that was really joy to watch. So good omens for India. I don't know what's going to happen to the openers next game. If you just look at it in a way where I think Rohit's coming back, then you can't drop Kishan right now. You can't drop KL because you want to check what happens with Rohit and KL.
I don't know, man.
It's a good headache to have, but it would be very unfair on Ishan Kishan, unfortunately, if he gets dropped. But yeah, I think good batting. Rishabh Pant, as Anurag rightly said, changed. I think continued the momentum, and I think he just put the final nail in the coffin. The way he played those shots, that six which he hit between cover and mid off, that was another very, very good shot. He was very aggressive, and it was good to see.
So Rishabh Pant for me is like that freestyle footballer who makes the most difficult tricks look ridiculously easy. Like he'll hit sixes in the parts of ground you would think, come on, man, you're a left-handed player. How is that angle the suitable angle to hit a six of a 145 bowler? Like, I mean, you're backing away and then you're smashing the ball over mid-wicket. Mid-off and between mid-off and extra cover, as Pratmesh mentioned. So, yeah, Rishabh Pant is something else. He did his job and India played well. Let's be honest there. India did play well. England thoroughly outplayed India in the first T20I. I wouldn't say India thoroughly outplayed England, but India were levels above England today at least. So, well deserved for that. Nathan's point still holds. Who wins while batting first? For me, I think the score should be around 200, maybe even more than 200. I think the ground does change. He is right there. The dew does have an impact on the ball. But again, India reached what in 17th, 18th over, right? That is when India reached the target. And, it was still a 165. And so if you add another, 30 runs to that, so that's 195. So that's what I meant, like a 205, 210, 210 score. I think for me, that will be the hallmark score of this ground. And that is where, I think 200 will be the, holy grail here in Ahmedabad at least. I'll take a few comments, lads. England have missed the option of Moeen Ali today. In IPL, Ishan Kishan scores a 6.2 against off spin, tends to play it out. Opening up with him may have slowed his blistering start. I think we'll probably see Moeen in the next game. 108 average in T20s. Cheating karta hai to cheating karta hai. So basically, he's talking about Virat Kohli. He averages 108 while chasing. King Kohli, as usual. Sorry. Ishan Kishan is a crazy find. Was a treat to watch him today. Thanks for watching, Srishti. It really was a treat. So no one is going to talk about Stokes dropping the match. Miss that smile. Yeah, I know he did. I think Pratmesh did mention that, Siddharth. So it'll be disappointing to see Kishan left hand next game. Come on, man. Let's not talk about it. Kishan will play the next game. He might not open, but he'll play the next game. Delivers the first game. You got this, Tejdeep. Yep, he did. India post this series. We treated this series as a 4-match series after we won the first and now even said Motera has witnessed the first.
If we do it as a 4-match series, we would have lost this one as well.
Actually, that actually makes more sense. So Motera, 10K for Gavaskar, 30K for Tendulkar, 18K for Tendulkar again in ODIs, and 3K for Kohli. It's a lot. It gives us a lot of. The pitch has always favored India. Oh my God. Football update for you, Arsenal 9. All right. Yeah, I know it's 1-1 now.
Goal
It's,
now.
it's,
Yeah.
it's 1-1 now. It's 1-1. Vasindu Hasaranga gets I mean, what can this man not do? Vasindu Hasaranga.
Yeah.
I mean, he does everything for Sri Lanka these days, it seems. So after this match, we're going to drop KL for Rohit. I have no idea, man. Don't ask me that question. It's 270. Oh, that will take. Okay, there you are. Okay, all right. And boom, Arsenal have scored their 10th shot. Comment worked. Odegaard. All right. I don't know whose side is Shivam really on.
Weird
It's very
allegiances.
confusing. It's very confusing.
Yeah, very.
Yeah. 6 T20Is while chasing Kohli with 6 versus the West Indies. All right, 6 Sri Lanka, 6 New Zealand, Dubai with 6. All right. Okay, so many sixes that we finished with. Great. Playing the extra batsman helped us today. Freedom thoughts. I agree. I think it really helped.
Responsible freedom. Let's put it that way. Responsible.
Aditya Tare needs a national call. I mean, we'll see about that. That's a long. I mean, so many keepers. The India played 3 keepers today, man. 3 keepers already in the 11. Kishan on fire from game 1. My fans all over the moon. Morgan, there's no due. All right. I mean, this is interesting. We've been talking about
weird.
This is your captain coming out and saying that you didn't have an impact. So clearly, second innings doesn't matter then. I mean, it's clearly India batting well.
Wow.
He always comes out and says that. He's the least excuse man I've ever seen in my life. He never ever makes an excuse.
All right.
He always plays any sort of excuses down. I don't know if it's his style to try and play in people's heads, but he always when anyone gives him the excuse, he just goes.
But Nathan, to all his modesty, to all his modesty and all, but would he come out and say there was no due, even if there was due?
Well, I don't think there was a lot of it, but there's something the pitch did definitely play differently second innings, regardless.
But Nathan, you only had one spinner, might I add. Like, I mean, how much of the due is really impacting your bowlers?
No, it's more the fact is the pitch. It must be the playing. Maybe it's more under the lights that plays on the pitch. But my question was more about: we won quite clearly first game. You've won quite clearly second game. We don't want to get to game 5, and it's 3-2 on the tosses, and it's 3-2 in the performance. How do you balance it off to make batting first not easier but more level pegged than batting second? You don't want it going down to the toss.
Yeah, Nathan, I feel it's a mentality issue as well. I think sometimes you think too much about the pitch. I think considering all that is talked about the pitch in the last month or so, I felt that England were too cautious in the way they went after the 10th over. Like, you were 83, you had only lost probably a couple of wickets, and they have a long batting lineup, right, Nathan? I think Tom Curran hits the ball a long way as well. So does Sam. So does Jofra. So you have a lot of batsmen there, and I think the way Ben Stokes played was really disappointing today. He tried too many things on a pitch where the ball wasn't really, where the bowlers were making sure the ball did not come into the bat quickly. He, instead of playing straight, decided to lob those shots above fine leg or above third man. I don't think they applied themselves in the right way. And probably that is where there was a difference between at one point when England were batting, it was looking 190 was very gettable. And that was around the 11th or 12th over. And after that, to concede only, or rather score only 34 in the last 5 overs, 18 in the last 3 overs is very disappointing. I think that is somewhere where they will have to look at. I felt it was an underperformance by England in the way they batted in the last 6-7 overs at least. They could have probably added 20 to this total which they scored today. And I think they should have. And it would have been an exciting game. I personally, Kushagra, I also feel that probably not 200 wicket, but probably 180, 190 is a par score, is what I feel.
200, this kind of. Yeah, I mean that would make 200, 205 a safe score, right? Like that was safe my point.
Score, yeah, it would make it.
Yeah, right. I'll quickly take a few more comments, guys. I'll come to you guys with the questions. We'll come into the final 20 minutes of the live. So, my squad for the T20 World Cup: Shaws, Rohit, Sky, Kishan. All right, Tare, Hardik, Krunal.
The next one. Take the next one.
Dubey, Jayant.
It's just he just put the Mumbai squad there.
Yeah, basically.
It's all Mumbai.
Mumbai win the all right. Tare finds list 100 on the most crucial match. We go 9th. All right, okay. Finals. All right. Tom Curran was looking like Sasta. Yeah, he really was. I mean, that Dale Steyn look didn't really suit him. Having 5 bowlers is a risk. Because Hardik Pandya as a 5th bowler is a big risk. I don't know. I think Hardik Pandya needs to. he needs to start performing in that position, and and actually prove that why he's being chosen in the team, because I think India need him to perform that role. India T20 chases since July 19. All right, that's good. That's good. Kishan was the man of the match. May I add?
Yes.
Madhav Kaushik. We spoke about this. We spoke about this is the highest individual score in any of the Vijay Hazare Trophy finals. It's fantastic. He's broken Mayank Agarwal's record. That's great. Great for him. Kohli is head and shoulders above anyone when it comes to chases. Only fourth time. And yeah, of course, yeah. I mean, the 300 plus was scored by both teams, and this was a great match. Mumbai played fantastically well. Virat, I had a chat with AB de Villiers before this match. Is it for real? Is it like
he did?
He told me, just watch the ball. That's exactly what I did. All right. Ishan is a fearless character.
Wow.
He should continue batting like this.
I love what he says, right? Just watch the ball. I mean, nothing else.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, such fantastic advice. Ishan Kishan, after receiving MOM, credit goes to seniors who told me to express myself. All right. Shaw, Gill, Devdutt, Kishan, damn future of the opening looks in safe hands. It does. I would still hope we play Shubman Gill maybe like 3-4. I would like that better. Shaw and Devdutt will open. Gill at 3. Oh, he's actually said what I was saying. Kishan at 4 will also look good. I mean, we're going too far ahead to the future. The next match is 2 days ago, or 2 days from now. So we'll talk about that. Everything was in safe hands, and also is and will be still a lot to scope to criticize. Yeah, man. I mean, of course. Ishan, Mumbai Indians has taught me a lot. Talking with the seniors, all the people in the team. All right. Was talking to Kushagra the other night, and he said all IPL teams are great. Mumbai is going to win. Beginning to see the performances in the current team. Yeah, I mean, yeah, she was, and she asked me who's the favorite for Mumbai for this IPL. That's what I told her exactly. भाई ईशान तो बड़ा बढ़िया खेल रहा है, बट अब धवन का क्या, और नेक्स्ट गेम में रोहित किसकी जगह आएगा? इफ इंडिया नीड्स टू बॉलर, सूर्य को ड्रॉप करेंगे? नहीं यार, सूर्य को तो नहीं ड्रॉप करेंगे. शशांक basically is asking what about Dhawan, who will Rohit replace, and what about Surya as well? I think, frankly speaking, I think KL Rahul will make way. Performances will speak louder than the I guess set plans for India. KL Rahul will make way. Rohit will open with Ishan Kishan. Surya will retain his spot, and I think the rest of the team might just remain the same entirely. I don't think
today Iron must be so happy, right? It's shocking.
I don't think Dhawan gets a chance. Yeah, Iyer must be happy. I mean, fantastic. Holder pasted in the final over the innings. Post 274 on the board. That's great. Was it actually your first game, Ishan Kishan? Yes, obviously it was the first game. Why is it questions? Okay. 2 poor team selection. I don't see anything pre-planned. Just trying every player. If they perform, they are in for the squad. Otherwise, drop. I don't agree with that, Ishan. I don't. Superb job by Ishan Kishan. Pawan adds yes that it was. Now I think we've discussed this match quite a lot. You all know Ishan Kishan was the man of the match, richly deserved. He set the platform for the Indian chase. Coming to you, Anurag. When we talk about once, if you have the time out of the Arsenal Tottenham game, I know it's a good derby, but well. We talk cricket here, but coming to the next match. My question to you around that opening question as well. Do you think I mentioned something on the lines of KL Rahul probably making way for Rohit Sharma? I don't think Ishan Kishan is dropped after this.
KD, just a small point. Criminal. Just a small point. Sri Lanka finished their innings, and Wanindu Hasaranga finished with an 60 ball 80. My word, he's been in some form.
What can he not do?
As I said, I don't. There isn't anything that he can't do really.
Right now, yep. Hopefully, some things change. Yep.
Yeah. So Anurag, what are your opinions on the next match? Yeah. On the next match, who do you think Rohit will replace and all of that? Do you think we get in another bowling option for Surya Kumar, or do you think he retains the spot? What about KL Rahul? So many questions have posed you.
Oh God. I genuinely I don't know, but I think KL Rahul's situation is a little intricate here, because I think a fact that he's been sitting on the sidelines for a while and he's not been getting any sort of match practice as such. I think that was quite evident, and when such things happen, all you want is some wood on ball, and he was just trying to chase everything. And I really didn't feel his approach. He was in his best of mind today, but but as it's all right. I think he'll be back, but for now, I think a rest won't be a bad thing. Uh, because Rohit Sharma, Ishan Kishan, when such things happen, to get dropped immediately won't be the greatest of things to do. Maybe even if he gets dropped, I think the current management is just about good enough to handle that situation well in such a way that Ishan Kishan doesn't get too demoralized. Because we've seen that happen with, I think, Mohammad Siraj, who when we came to India immediately in the first test he was dropped after picking up a fifer at the Gabba. So this can happen, but at the same point, I would hope it doesn't, and maybe uh, with with a hand on my heart, I am. It's very tough to say, but I think KL Rahul might get dropped. Might
Yeah,
make way for Rohit Sharma, because you need runs at the top, and I don't know for how long this will continue, but it's disappointing. Let's see. I think Shreyas also keeps his place, because for obvious reasons, even he's been scoring runs.
yeah,
So yeah, I think that's the only change I'm expecting. Besides that, I think the team looked quite sorted today, and one bowler I didn't expect he would do well today was Shardul. I think he mixed up his pace and his
yeah.
lengths quite beautifully today. It's good to see that.
Yeah. I think Anurag, since the
Oh,
last 4 years,
Yeah.
it's the last 4 years in T20, Shardul Thakur has bowled with an economy of 8.25 in the final 4 overs. So if you consider that, to be honest, it wasn't really shocking to see Shardul perform so well in the final overs. Kushagra, how many runs did Virat score today? I mean, I'm not asking this question. He scored 73, right? Then why is
73
the
or 49.
headline? Then why is the headline reading this? This is so frustrating, right? If you are a Virat Kohli fan, or if you are an Indian
What?
cricket fan, or if you're a fan of
Oh,
any
that's
team, Virat Kohli hits the stuns in frustration after arguing with an umpire and gives away an extra run. Boys, the amount of runs he scored, he could have given up 10 extra runs. I don't care. This is the frustrating thing, right?
I
Your
mean, it's okay.
captain has played an innings after such a long time. Please support him. Support him. Why would people want to pick out the smaller things? Try to try to do such kind of stuff. I genuinely feel it's so pathetic to be an Indian captain, because no matter what you do, you can't be any good, right? Dhoni, we saw that with
It's
Dhoni sometimes. He was
Prathamesh.
a bad decision.
Prathamesh, it's like winning a football match, then you miss two sitter opportunities, and you crib about it for the rest of the day. It's a bit like that. You actually forget you won so beautifully. I think it doesn't even make sense to be discussing it. It's I mean,
Yeah,
for the initial comment to have taken place in the first place.
yeah,
I mean, yeah, it's okay. Leave it. That's
I
exactly
get
what I
it.
would
Even
say.
that's
I mean,
frustrating. Yeah.
it's okay. It's okay. We've all seen clickbait articles like that, so it's all right. KL Rahul last played a T20 in Australia. So Australia
Talking about
started in
clickbait, how is
December.
Michael one?
I feel he's gonna now say okay, this was the Mumbai Indians player that got the man of the match, and that's why he showed that Mumbai Indians is okay. Come on, Michael won. Get
It's all
out. Come
right.
on.
Come on. I actually thought we might see a bowling change this match. We technically did. We reduced a bowler.
Yeah.
I mean, that
Yeah.
was a change. Guys, you didn't get it. In case they need an extra play pacer, will they drop Sundar or Sky, because Hardik usually plays for sure? My question is, why do they need an extra pacer? I think they just
They
need to
don't.
replace. If they want to replace, they can replace one of Shardul. I don't think you replace Bhuvi. Maybe Shardul will be slightly unlucky to go out, but if Shardul goes out, Saini comes in. I don't think they get in an extra pacer. Like, why do you need four pacers? Shashank,
Yeah.
that's the point. Sorry, KD, आज भूल गया.
Yeah.
मुंबई तेरे टीम्स को फाइनल में हमेशा से फोड़े और तेरे सपने हमेशा ऐसे तोड़े. All right, he's talking about Mumbai teams always winning against the teams that I support in finals. So yeah, fantastic. Once again, Mumbai City FC, massive congratulations. And Mumbai, of course, in the Vijay Hazare Trophy, it's a tough time not being a Mumbai fan. Uh, be honest, poor captaincy or team selection, whosoever did it. I don't get it, Shashank. I don't get it. What is the poor captaincy? Where is the poor selection? I don't get it. First match, we all told you about this team. The team management always goes in with consistency. We expected that lineup. To be fair, if you actually you were there in the shows earlier. If you go back into the shows, you'll remember. At least I was talking about Shreyas Iyer and Dhawan playing. I was talking about KL Rahul. I probably having to wait his turn. Who knew Rohit wouldn't play? So KL Rahul played, and he's not performed in the 2 matches. He may have had the last match 4 months back, but if Bhuvneshwar had not done it for the 2 matches, he had his last match almost 2 years back. So, we would have dropped Bhuvneshwar. We would have gotten someone in. So the standards and the yardsticks are the same for everyone, I believe. Yeah. And if that is the case, if he is to make way for a couple of matches, he makes way. Kohli will take rest. Rohit will take rest in the ODIs as well. I'm pretty sure about that. Yeah. He will get his chance. He doesn't need to play all 8 matches for that chance. This innings is for my coach's dad, who passed away a few days ago. अगर परसों KL drops, हम ही सबसे पहले criticize करेंगे. I won't criticize. I'm not saying he'll be dropped. He'll just be a rotation. 2 games. Yeah. Yes, I agree. Anyone can play 2 bad games. I'm not saying he might not be rotated. You might see someone from the middle order making way. I mean, we don't really know what the plans are for the team, because Rohit is definitely coming back, right? I mean, Kishan became the second player to score a half century on T20I debut. Shashank aaj match kiya. Siddharth reminding Shashank that we did win the match. Thakur is good, to be honest. In case they won't drop Sky, Shashank, it's all right. And Srishti's laughing at something. Yeah, fly. All right. The MI Paltan were too good.
I said this.
Yes. By 4 bowlers and 1 all-rounder. No, India will not play. Why? Why not?
Why not?
Once again, if that 1 all-rounder is good enough, why not? My point is, get another batsman who can maybe roll his arm over. Maybe that way you get a 6th option. I'm inviting all the Indian team to join my fielding academy. It's a very exclusive club, all right.
That's where bench Stokes come from, right? That's where bench Stokes comes from. Yeah. We don't want to join
50 them. Players. So we'll take 50 players in the World Cup. All right, I've taken enough comments. We'll come to the England perspective of things. Yeah. Nathan, you've seen the match. I don't know how much of that you caught, because I know you were busy most of the day with work. But from whatever highlights you might have caught, or whatever scores you might have read, any changes that you look at into the team going into the 3rd match? Because we don't really have that much of a turnaround time, right? Day after tomorrow is the next match, and we'll keep going in a 2-day interval. I think the end of the ODI series. So, what are your thoughts on the England team selection going forward?
I watched it all today. Actually, I finished just in time, but I think Wood's meant to be back fit for Tuesday, so he'll come straight back in for Curran. And apart from that, I think it's just one of those games that we brush away and treat it as a bad day at the office. Really, he had a heel injury, and it's meant to be okay for Tuesday. Apparently, it comes Morgan. So that's the only change for me. And hopefully we bring our catching hands.
I mean, it's an off day. I think England was stupendous in the field during the Test series and also in the first T20I. It was just an off day. And that Butler catch, I agree. I mean, he should have taken it, but you can get why that is dropped. Stokes one was unforgivable. Sorry, I mean it was unforgivable. I mean that was a dolly.
It was both,
and yeah, I mean unforgivable. Yeah, both of them.
I'd expect to catch the Stokes one.
Yeah, I know. I love how we talk about players, and Nathan always brings it on to himself. I'll bat better than Bairstow. I'll catch that better than Stokes. I love the confidence, brother. I mean, carry that on to the field.
The best part about all this batting one is I'm like the most number.
And you're wearing a better shirt than them.
Yeah, I mean, I like that jersey better. I mean, the one that wearing.
That one's better. Yes.
Yeah, coming back, Nathan, you were telling us you were what?
I am the most number 11 batsman that I make Bumrah look good.
He scored a 50 in a list A match in Australia. All right.
Yeah.
All right. He did. He bashed a 50.
Yeah. And he bashed a head as well. I don't know who's.
And he bashed Cam Green in his head as well. So I mean, he hit a ball flat to his face. Anyway, coming back. I mean, fair enough. With the English team, I think you're right to say that the England team should look at it more like bad day in the office, because even right from the start when Butler got out, could have reviewed, but I think the review would have stuck. Umpire's call would have effectively ruled him out, so he was out there. But coming beyond that, I felt the momentum that probably Roy had, no one else could really amplify on that. I felt Roy has been the most dangerous batsman from the English side over the 2 matches. He's unfortunately not gotten to a 50. think it's been like 2-3 years since he's not gotten an international 50 for England. So I remember the commentators were mentioning that in the last game. So if that is the case, if in a dead rubber he can get that, that'll be great. But coming back to competitive rubbers, one would hope as an India fan that he doesn't score too many runs, because he looks like the most dangerous batsman on the English side for me. Along with Morgan, I would add, because Morgan, the way he bats, he looks just effortless. He can just hit sixes like I think in his sleep. Whatever the ground, whatever the dimensions, whoever the bowler, the connection of his bat, whether it is reverse or a normal sweep, is incredible. So yeah, very very good potential for the English. Good wake up call for them. I think this sets up the series very well. Wouldn't have liked for it to go to 2-0, because that would have made it very difficult for India to come back. Pratmesh, your opinions on the match with respect to, again, the same selection question that I asked Anurag. And of course, any other changes that might come to your head when you look at team rotation, or would you like to just secure the series first and then talk about all those other things?
If India want to be very adventurous, I would stick with the exact same 11. But that won't be the case. I'm pretty sure Rohit Sharma will come back, and that will be for KL Rahul. It doesn't make any sense to change anyone else. I think all the other players did their job today. For Hardik, I think he was unlucky because there were a couple of boundaries that he considered of his bowling that went right through the fielder's hands. With terms to the way he bowled the final couple of overs of his spell, he bowled really well. And as it says, I think Masoom says this in the stats, right? He 38 wickets in average of 26, strike rate of 19, economy of 8.3. So that for your fifth bowler is not bad at all. I think he does a decent job there. Having said that, you were right. I think if Indians could find a batsman who could bowl a little, that would be wonderful. But I don't think there is any other change. I think Rohit comes in for KL Rahul. Unfortunately for KL, because KL hasn't performed and Ishan has. That was the only change I could possibly think. I think India, if they do bat first in the next game, I think there will be more clarity to what happens, because I think in that case you will probably see Rohit Sharma being the anchor and then allowing everyone else who joins him on the crease, to just free flow. In case Kishan gets out and then Virat joins Rohit, I think Rohit will be the aggressive batsman and then Virat will be the anchor. I think that's how both of them will shift the anchor roles between themselves to whatever is happening on the crease, and that suits India better, because then you have all of these free flowing stroke makers around them. And let's not kid ourselves. I think Virat and Rohit are still the best batsmen in the team. They can still hit sixes on the will better than anyone else in the team. But just the overall game.
I might sound a little over the top, but they're the best ODI. They're the best white ball batsmen in the world.
They are probably the best.
No, not really. Nathan, all conditions, I would still give it to Virat and Rohit. English batsmen, not all conditions.
Probably, yes. I think that you are right there. I think if you look at white ball cricket, I think they are the two best batsmen, which is why I think I have had a secret desire that both them open, but then it doesn't make sense because there's too much similarities there. But I think, yes, if they do come on to bat together, I think one of them will shift from being the anchor to being the aggressor. I think that makes a lot of sense. And I think India, as usual, they should be more aggressive in this game. I expect them to be more aggressive. If India bat first, I don't think, considering the way this team is thinking right now and the headspace that they are in, and the tactics that they have thought about, which were clearly visible today, I don't think they're thinking about a score in their brain. I think all they're thinking is about that next ball and how to play that next ball to for a single, double, or a boundary. So I think chasing is not an issue. I think setting a score would be an issue, and that would be interesting to see how Indians cope up with that.
Yeah, I mean, I would actually, I know it sounds a little ballsy to say that, but I'd actually like for India to bat first and put up like a 200, as I said, 200, 215, and then defend it, just to prove like the ground can, the toss isn't the major, talking point when it comes to the pitch there. Shashank adds new team. Yes, May 2021, base price is no less than 1,500 crores. 2 new franchises that are going to come in. Let's see where they go. Thoughts on Malan? I'll come with this question to Nathan just in a little bit. He looks like he's struggling against spin. I don't think if he's struggling. I think he's just, played cricket after a little while, and David Malan is a fantastic player. Even the PSL, he was playing well, right? He was at the PSL, if I'm not wrong, right? So yeah, in 2008, MI was bought for 111.9 million. RR being the lowest, 67. All right, I mean, yeah, all right. Yes, Malan is a better fast bowler player. Also good white ball players. Keep in mind the batting position, no doubt. Virat and Kohli. Josh Butler opens and Morgan is middle order. That's exactly what Virat and Rohit you would put them at, right? Won't you? Nathan, bro, you're not watching the all-important Arsenal versus Tottenham today.
We are not watching it either.
Vipul is laughing.
Yeah.
I mean, Nathan's a Preston fan who wouldn't really care about Arsenal versus Tottenham, to be honest. If he did, this probably just be for banter purposes. If he has any gooners or I don't know what do you call Spurs fans, what cockerel fans? What are they? I don't know. I know Arsenal fans are called gooners.
Just call them Spurs.
The Spurs, right? If you want to Spurs fans. Yeah, I know. Other terms are controversial, so we wouldn't really, enter that domain. But yeah, coming back to you, Nathan. With respect to David Malan, I think it's a little unfair on him to say that he's struggling against spin. I mean, he just had the 2 innings, and he looked good in the first match. I mean, he looked decent in this match today as well. Felt like he was middling the ball. It's just about him spending time on the crease. I think he's as dangerous for the Indian team as Jason Roy is.
Well, I'm just trying to think back. I don't remember him having any problems with the spin. I actually thought it was. I thought today though we didn't pick up the pace of the wicket very well because he 24 of 23. He played a couple of decent shots, but he did. I don't know what you call them, but he connected and he went about 20 yards. Went close. It literally went to like the 30-yard circle when it hit his bat, and he went quite high. So I wouldn't think there's any big worries on it, but I'm going to sort of watch out for it now just to see if there is. You don't come number one batsman in any format if you've got a real big issue against spin anyway. They say it about Jason Roy, but is that just he's better at everybody else? It might be his weak point, but because he's so good against everything else, it's that just lags behind rather than being a weaker point, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
and maybe that might be that with that. That might be the thing with Milan. But watch out next couple of games and we'll see.
Yeah, I think he's a fantastic player for me. I think David Malan is someone that no team should take really. They shouldn't really take him lightly. But Shashank adds Butler bats at number 6 in ODIs. Again, it's the team's decision for him to bat number 6, Shashank. It's not about it really does speak about the quality of the player. I'm just asking you to pick up contemporary records and just compare them, and then we'll see whether you want to put in Butler in comparison to Root, Kohli, or Rohit. I mean, Root, I don't know why I brought him in, but Kohli and Rohit. So we'll just go back there. When Jadeja comes, do we go back with playing a batsman less? I feel we shouldn't have a set formula. We should have a formula as compared to where what the situation is.
Kushagra, as harsh as that sounds, I think Jadeja will replace Washington when he comes. I think that's the change.
It's fair.
It's not harsh.
It's fair.
And why are we counting Jadeja as a batsman less? Have we forgotten the fact that Ravindra Jadeja can equally win matches on his own with the bat?
I think maybe look at more the near-term future than the long-term future right now, at least. So if you look at the near-term future,
3 World Cups in 3 years. 3 World Cups in 3 years is near-term.
And Jaddu is an MVP, so he plays. He plays for sure.
According to him, 2025 is the best cricketer in the world in 2025. So if he trusts himself so much, why not? I mean, he is, after all, the MVP.
Yeah, why not? So all right, lads. Thank you so much for joining in. I think we've covered it all. And once again, to sum up the day for you, Afghanistan beat Zimbabwe to win their 3rd Test match out of 6 that they played in total. South African women beat the Indian women in the 3rd ODI there in Lucknow as well. Beyond that, we saw Vijay Hazare Trophy final in which both the teams batted really well. Aditya Tare and Madhava Phasti, if I'm not getting the name wrong. With the best performances there, top scoring for the individual teams, which is Mumbai and Uttar Pradesh respectively. Aditya Tare scoring unbeaten 100 while chasing in a Vijay Hazare Trophy. Incredible achievement for him. Mumbai winning that trophy, well deservedly so. The main event for the night, of course, was I might add Sri Lanka have scored 274 in their first innings, so that match is still on. You guys can still check it out later. for the match that was at the Mutera Narendra Modi Stadium, whatever way you want to call it. India versus England, the second T20 international. India finally winning a toss. Virat Kohli actually not really calling the toss. Morgan called it wrong for a change this time. So
He
India
spun it
bowling
well.
first, bowled well. Yeah, he spun it well. Yeah, India bowled first, restricted in England for 164. Good bowling effort by India. Good couple of innings by England, especially Jason Roy couldn't carry it through. England probably would feel themselves. They were about, and as Pratmesh mentioned, 20-25 runs short. That could have made a major difference, but India came out with an intent. Apart from that first over, as we mentioned, India were completely in control and won in 17 odd overs. So congratulations to Team India, commiserations to Team England. I'm sure the next match will be even closer, tightly fought contest. Nathan, Anurag, and Pratmesh, many thanks for joining me here. To everyone who's joined this post Doyen, thank you so much for joining in. Check out the website. We'll have a post-match review there as well. On the YouTube, you can of course find a replay of this video. You can always find that on Facebook as well. Twitter and Instagram, please keep engaging. We always like that. We always keep coming on to the new posts there. The three socials, Nathan, because he's too fine for Twitter, so he's not on Twitter. And as far as the other three of us, we've got our Twitter handles right there. That is Pratmesh's Insta handle, might I add. Do follow us on our socials. We'll follow you right back. And this is it, guys. I think. Thank you so much for joining in, lads. Hope you're doing well.